Hi and welcome. Thank you for stopping on my page to look over my 200 hour. All of my training has come from different lineage, and I am at my home right now. So you're going to see a dog pop up in 2 seconds, but that's why I love teaching from home. Here he comes. He needs to always have the spotlight. Um, so anyway, if you hear a dog or you see a dog, this is real life. I wanted to come on because I know a lot of people are hesitant about taking a 200-hour teacher trainer online because you're really not sure what you're going to get. But maybe the 200-hour online training works for you because you're home and you have to take care of animals, kids, or he knows I'm talking about him. Or this is Bama. You'll probably see a lot of him. Or you're just really wanting to dive into it at your own pace and you work a full-time job and you just can't manage going to a yoga studio or going on a retreat and spending 3 months learning about what yoga is. So this is perfect for you if you fall into any of those categories, or maybe you just want more information before you venture out and actually take one from a yoga studio. Hopefully I can shed some light and just really go over who I am, why I created a YTT, and what you can expect from my training. And maybe I'll touch on what you can expect from others as well, just so that you go into it knowing a little bit of what questions to ask. But to back up, I started yoga when I was really stressed out, and I know everybody has their stories, right, of what's drawing them to yoga. Well, I was completely stressed out. I was working a corporate job, human resources, that was a nonprofit, but I was so much more than just a human resource director. I was actually involved in the everyday dealing with kids. We housed about 300 kids that came from the state that had anywhere from contraband, get kicked out of their house. They would be sent to us to stay from anywhere from 2 months to a year, depending on the severity of the crime. But the company I worked for believed in challenging a child through adventure-based programs, not putting them on medication or any of that stuff. So I was dealing with a lot of that as well. So my mom, who is a yoga teacher, God bless her, at 73, but don't tell her I told you that. She just told me, you need to get away. I just had my first child. I was really, I just got married, had a child, dealing with this company, and I was really maxed out. So she took me away to New York, and it was the teacher. My first teacher was Rodney Yee, and I don't know if you know him, but you can look him up. He's a world-renowned yogi. And we were in Rhinebeck, New York, and it was overnight, and it was for a week, teaching us how to do yoga. Well, when we got there, I am from Jersey, so you'll hear me say water. I was so type A. When we got there, the first thing he says is like, okay, let's sit down and let's hold hands. And I go, oh my God, this is the point where we're going to sing Kumbaya and I'm fucking going to die. Like literally wrote in my journal, that's exactly what it was. And we sat down and I rolled my eyes and I held these people's hands and I was trying not to laugh, like Bible, trying not to laugh. And he said two things, still gives me goosebumps this day, and I might even tear up. He said, he gave us permission to let go. And he's like, and something, I don't know if I was like, I'm going to cry, because that was the first time somebody actually gave me permission to just let go. And I knew I wanted more of this from that minute that I held hands. I knew. I didn't know to what capacity. I just knew I wanted more of it. So, sorry, it chokes me up every time. So from then, I went home, did yoga. One day at the company I work for, we had a yoga teacher for the girls, and she didn't show up. And they're like, Allison, you got to go teach. I said, I don't know, I'm not a teacher. I've literally been taking classes for a whole hot 2 weeks on my own, trying to figure it out. And they're like, yeah, but you're doing it online. You're doing the videos. I'm like, yeah, but that has nothing to do with it. And because I had a gymnastics background, they're like, well, you know, gymnastics and all that, just figure it out. So I went and I just started to teach these girls what I learned from the videos that I had done. And I just saw this light go off in these women. And I knew that was the light that went off in me. And I said, this is something amazing. Like, this just, okay, for me, yeah, I get it. It's my own personal journey. But for me to be teaching this to women, which, you know, teenagers, teenage girls, and them wanting more, them eating it up, to me, teaching it regularly and doing a whole journaling thing, I knew I needed this in my life. So fast forward, you know, I ended up opening up a little yoga studio when I moved 5 years later. It was like only $700 a month. And it was just this tiny place that held 15 people. And I was a children's yoga teacher. And I just got the place because I wanted some validity for me to call schools to have me go in and teach yoga to their schools. I didn't want them to think I was some, you know, weirdo, like on my phone at home, like, hey, let me come, you know, teach your kids. So I thought that having a studio would give me the validation I needed. Well, next thing I know, adults are showing up. It's like I'm literally coming to the studio with a little cooler with my cold towels, and they're frozen, but keeping them in the back because I knew they would unthaw, and putting them on everybody. And that was the start of Serenity, right? This beautiful creation, coming into a town that no yoga was ever around. They probably wanted to burn me at the stakes, to becoming this icon of the town and everyone loving it and giving a place of home. So they showed up, I built it, they came, I started teaching. I still didn't have a certification, so don't recommend any of that. I had a certification for teaching kids. I could teach them how to wag their tail and downward dog, but I wasn't physically certified. So I immediately, when I started seeing adults show up, classes packed, I went and got certified. And I then branched out to a bigger studio, and still Serenity in my town, and then bought another studio I lived in Delaware, so it was Middletown, Delaware was where Serenity was, and still is. And I branched out and had Serenity in Newark. I then got rid of Serenity in Newark because it was just way too much. I wanted to be involved in the kids. And then I kept the Serenity in Middletown, where I practiced and taught for 16 years. So that's really where I am. I did sell my studio. I moved to Florida, and I wanted to really heal people on a whole level, not just with yoga, but yoga, Reiki, holistic healing, hypnotherapy, energy work. So that's where I am today. When I created my 200-hour teacher trainer program, I created it out of a place of really, really love. What did I need that I didn't get when I was in a teacher trainer? How can I effectively help women and men that come that want to be healers as well? So when I created this program, I thought of all of those things that I needed. And then I also thought of all the things as a business owner, what I wanted to see from a teacher coming into my studio. And I can tell you hands down, this program is not like any other. It really is not like any other. I have you journaling deep and discovering what's going on with you. Because, you know, when I sat there with Rodney and he gave me permission to let go, I didn't understand why I had such this overwhelming feeling of love and being supported and enough. And then when I went to one yoga class and I was in Pigeon, I started seeing all these flashes and all these things on an energetic level where I stuffed. And it brought me to some deep trauma. And that was something I had to overcome. And I created the journaling through the yamas and niyamas. I didn't create the book, but thought it was a great addition to bring in because it really helps one understand their own stuff. Because I feel that if you can understand your own stuff, you don't have to have your shit together, but to understand your own, where you need healing, where you need stuff, that person on your mat is just like you. They're just packaged differently. So what you'll get is a teacher training manual, but you'll also have an accompanied video that breaks down what you're going to be doing. Meditation, how to teach meditation, anatomy. The anatomy program is actually on a separate platform. You will get an email and a login that you do. We go over this through the discovery call, but it is recognized by the Yoga Alliance. So it's 10 hours. I actually think I give you 20. I think it is 20 hours now. Recognized by the Yoga Alliance. Also, the chakras, the energy centers, that's my jam. I love that. And going through that on a deeper level. And the business aspect of yoga. You'll get to meet with me on the first call and we go over it. I get to know you, what is your goals, what is your aspirations, like all of it, and then showing you the portal of everything that is listed in there. Then each time you get done your module, we will have another meeting if you need to. You're provided a calendar, you can set up your time and date, and me and you will just check in if you have any questions, me going over how are you feeling, how are you showing up. Because I do call you out if you're not. I won't certify anybody if they're not fully invested, because I am fully invested in you and I'm invested in the students. So I just ask that you wholeheartedly give me your divided attention as I do you. And then you get a test. And once that's done, you have some practice yoga that you do volunteering, giving the gift of yoga out to your community. And once you're done that, you are ready to teach, baby, all ready to go. So I hope I helped you with a YTT and what my program is. I did say I would tell you about others. You know, if you are looking to do one in person, absolutely. Hands down, we've been locked in for 2 years because of COVID. Maybe you're seeking that one-on-one and feel that you will learn better. I totally get that. Just make sure you ask them how long they've been teaching a yoga teacher trainer, where they were taught at, and what you can expect from your training once you graduate. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, I do have a cat. So if you hear them, it's Noah's Ark in my house, Noah's Ark. So asking them those important questions, you know, really finding out what their background is. Now, my teacher trainer is $800. It is never this low. My teacher trainer is usually $2,000, and by the end of the year in person, it's going to be almost $5,000 because I'm going to be adding additional stuff to it, more therapeutic stuff, energy healing, how to do that, how to be a businesswoman and rock your asana. But for right now, mine is $800. And if you want to add on a yin training, which isn't very hard, it is probably about 20 hours. It's $200 extra, but you'll want to message me and email me so I can add that to your members. So you would get a yin, and then it would break down the yin and how to teach a yin. I really think yin and vinyasa go very well together. It's a yang and, you know, yin and a yang. I think they're both really needed. But I think that is it. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can text me at area code 302-598-3804. Or you can email me at mokshahealings@gmail.com. So it's MOKSHA and then healings@gmail.com. I had to like literally MOKSHA, yeah, healings.com, healings@gmail.com. All right, well, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come to you today through energy. I hope you can feel me and kind of get a sense of who I am, because I am one of those people that are very vulnerable and open and sharing, and really, really hold myself accountable like others. And you can check out my Instagram as well and kind of get a feel of who I am. That's my dog Bama. And my other dog is laying on the couch. His name is Prem, and in Sanskrit it means love. So thank you so much. May you have a beautiful day, and please reach out if you have any questions. I hope to work with you and see you on your mat. Namaste.